practice, and I'd like to show you, in between my travel videos in the spring in the USA, I want to show you this whole car I bought last winter that I've been neglecting to show you. If you're into cars, great. If you're not, check it out anyway. It's pretty neat. 1967 Plymouth Valiant Signet, a Signet model. Signet meant more chrome, perhaps that vinyl roof, and what they call fancy hubcaps. I called them granny hubcaps. So it's a 4-door, it's a slant 6. Let's dive in and I'll show you around. But before that, location. I don't even know what the date is. About 6 August in Renfrew County, the Ottawa Valley, Westmeath. The town of Westmeath is over yonder, named after an Irish town or city, Meath. Well, this is Westmeath, farm country. Farm country of the Ottawa Valley, less bushy. And there's some old century farms around. Maybe 2-century farms, some of them. And this is the Westmeath Lookout. So back on topic here, as I said, 1967. Found this in near the North Bay area of Ontario, up by Lake Nipissing. And the little village name escapes me. Bought it off a fine French-Canadian man, Mike, who found this on Vancouver Island back in the day. And it had very little miles, still does. It's only got about 58,000 on it. And he's seen the value in it. It had no rust. It never has rusted. And in 2008, at some point, he stripped it all down. I mean everything. Everything came off it. There's pictures. It was just a shell. And he changed the paint scheme from maybe fire engine red to this sort of a reddish burgundy. Seems to work. And he painted everything, underneath, inside, all of it. So you can't tell that the color's been changed. Now from the back side, one tailpipe. It is a slant 6. We're going to show you that. It's got an old-time trailer hitch on it because Mike used to tow a little bowler fiberglass trailer to the car shows. And he won a few car shows with this. Now it is a 4-door, but 4-doors are hot nowadays because you can find them for a more reasonable price instead of a classical 2-door, which is great, but I'm okay with a 4-door. Quite all right with it. So to start with, there wasn't much for me to do. It passed the safety check, no problem. Although it would have needed tires. It had skinny little tires with these rare hubcaps that came with the car. I haven't thrown them away, I gotta keep them. And what I did is I found a really good deal on these Mopar Rally rims, which some of the Valiants and Darts used to come with. I don't know that this year did, but they fit. They had the right bolt pattern. I made them black. They are normally silver. I made the rims black, and they have the beauty rings and the center caps, and it makes it really pop with that vinyl roof. Purists might not like that black, but I think it just works, and it's worth changing the color. They're not blemish free, but they look really good. And a really good set of tread, and slightly bigger tires. 185/70 14s, as opposed to the little skinny, were they 14? I think they were. Might have even been 13. Some of these came with 13s. Coming to the interior, pretty good shape. It's got a few little blemishes here and there that could be fixed up over time. Little nicks out of the door panels, all easily fixed. Not too concerned about it right now. I got my girl's floor mat here out of a RAV4 because she has rubber form-fitting ones, just to keep the carpet nice. Yeah, original AM radio. It's got an 8-track. I put that little inverter on there for some phone power and to plug in the Milwaukee radio. No AC, don't want it. Full gauge package. They all work very nice. It's got this aftermarket, screw fell out, oil pressure gauge with the line that goes right to the engine, and of course it's leaking on the engine, and those are very risky for blowing off and losing oil pressure and oil. So that'll be coming out because it has an oil light that works just fine. Nice seats, all redone. It's got a 2-seat split in it, so not an original bench. It's nice to have that armrest to rest your arm on. I would prefer a full bench. Maybe they didn't come with the headrests, but they can save your neck from breaking, so, and it looks good, so what the hell. Here's a shot of the back. Good shape, really clean. Squishy seats, too squishy. If I ever had to redo them someday, I would make them a little firmer. I got this paint drying towel after you wash the car, so there's no spots on it, because that happens. Mike told me he had a guy he knew, I think, redo the vinyl top when Mike was redoing the car, and the guy did a bang up job. It's really, really tight. Nice job. Not a fan of these for regular daily use cars when they had them back in the day, because moisture would get underneath and cause rusting problems, and even like rust right in the roof. Got a little dealer decal on here, Westport, not to be confused with Westport, Ontario. Probably out in BC or something. If anybody knows, remembers a dealership called Westport out west, put in a comment. Show you the old trunk here. The round key upside down. That's a Chrysler thing back in the day. All right, came with a few spare parts. Distributor cap, belt, lots of paper information. That's a carburetor in there, sort of a spare for parts. Good place to keep it, I guess. It's got the original jack. See how the fuel neck comes right into the fuel tank? That's how they were built. And one of these nice original looking liners. There's the spare tire. P185 8013. So they were originally 13, which was kind of pathetic looking. Much better with the 14s. All right, now let's show you the power plant. It is an automatic 3-speed. The what's the acronym? 904 transmission, not a 727. And what we have here is a Super 6. This would have come with I would think a 170 cubic inch slant 6 with a 1 barrel. This is a 1976 Super 6. A robust engine that came out of a truck, and it has a 2-barrel carburetor. A carburetor that's called Carter BBD 2-barrel, and it's been nothing but trouble. That's the one thing I've had to really to work at. Now these things are famous for, so now we'll get into the mechanics of it. This won't be for everybody, but if you're a slant 6 enthusiast, it may. So these are famous for heat rising when you park it and percolating the fuel, this cruddy ethanol fuel that we have nowadays, out of the bowl of the carburetor, and then you got to crank and crank and crank to fill it back up, and then it'll start. So as a solution, Mike had this pump installed, electric pump, that's actually hooked up to the starter solenoid when you crank, and it'll only pump when the engine's cranking. I'm thinking of just putting a push button where I can prime the fuel beforehand, because I find I still need it, and I'll tell you why. And before we head over there, we had this HEI General Motors ignition module with what looks like maybe a Ford coil. So they're high energy ignition, which means you can use the electronic distributor, and you can gap your plugs at 45 thou as opposed to 35. More brighter spark, hopefully running better. So Mike was very meticulous. He painted everything, kept it very clean. And because of the percolating fuel problem, this is the heat riser, which is a door in the exhaust manifold which will direct heat up into the carb for colder winter months, which we're not going to see, and shut it off so when it heats up it shuts off automatically with a bimetal spring. Anyway, I closed it and I wired it shut. I'll try and do something a little more permanent looking than a piece of mechanics wire. And another solution I did was, I'm going to take this off here, the little Super 6 air cleaner. Put that down here. I bought this phenolic bakelite board and mounted the carb on top of it. It didn't seem to affect my throttle position at all. I didn't have to adjust it, and the kickdown seems to be happy. And if I wanted to adjust that, I would go down below and do that. So it's helping, it's better, but I think what I'm going to do is drill some 1/8 holes, or whatever size the rivets are, and I got a piece of aluminum off Amazon, 1.5 inches wide. You can even get millimeters, 1.5 millimeters. You can even get a 1 millimeter, and I'm going to fit it underneath as a shiny radiant deflector to deflect the heat back. And this is a little more insulated, but it's still warm, it still gets hot. So we'll try that shiny aluminum under there and see if that helps. The carburetor was a mess. It had been rebuilt. I rebuilt it anyway, and the throttle shaft was wore out. So I got bushings and a reamer, which is also on Amazon, for a 5/16 shaft. Worked well, ran better, but still something was amiss with it. Upon further inspection, looking at the throttle plates, they seem to have a lot of light you can see around the throttle plates. They should really snap shut tight and you shouldn't be able to see much past them. So I reluctantly, after a bit of study, ordered a Amazon carburetor, because they have BBDs on Amazon, but they're made of not such a good quality aluminum alloy, and they have corrosion problems, especially with the ethanol fuel nowadays. So what I did is, after unsuccessfully rebushing it and rebuilding it, still no good. It had an awful stumble, like a boom, 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 boom at idle. I tried everything, a PCV valve, looking for vacuum leaks everywhere. The timing vacuum was in the wrong place. It was down below on full vacuum. It should be above the throttle plates here. So I took the bottom of the Amazon carb and I put it on the old carb, as opposed to using the entire whole carb. They work fine, Amazon carbs. It's just they might not last too long. I also borrowed the choke pull-off diaphragm. The other one worked, but the rod was like mangled from somebody trying to adjust it, and I actually had to squeeze it together that much, that U there, to get the choke set properly in the morning. Now it works great. So maybe there's a few more vacuum leaks to find, maybe not. I think what the problem is, it's still not a perfect smooth idle, but it's so much better. Like, I can live with it. But I think what the problem is, you can't get much adjustment out of the air fuel mixture screws on the Amazon carb. I noticed the holes above it in the old one, the old base, have 2 brass inserts, smaller holes. These ones are just machined or cast. They look bigger. I don't think it's allowing for a more accurate air fuel adjustment, but it certainly runs better, I'll tell you that. So as you can see, it sounds pretty good. But it's got a little stumble, just a ever so slightly stumble. And you can hear the PCV valve rattling sometimes, which usually indicates other problems, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking for too much. I think it's air fuel mixture myself. I did, just in case, do a seafoam top end spray. I let the cylinder soak for 2 days to loosen up the rings, because some of these engines sit around, don't get used enough, and things get sticky. And I put other seafoam oil treatment in and went for 80 to 100 kilometer road test and let that work in. And then I changed the oil, put some fresh 10W30 in and liquid moly additive, real slippery stuff. Anyway, that's as good as it gets. So, thanks for watching Out and About. Watch those travel videos in the USA, Texas and Utah and New Mexico. Pretty cool. Van camping, cooking, exploring. So I'm going to run this buggy out east and then south. I'm going to head for Douglas, Ontario, another old farming town. Lots of Mennonites around there. I'm going to get some garlic to make fermented garlic and maybe some cabbage to make sauerkraut. Carrots, maybe pickled carrots. We'll see. Just kind of a play day. No work today. No chores. So join me on the road. And we'll see you on the scooter. We'll see you in the van. We'll see what we're up to. Take care.